The Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh, presidential candidates, though?
Yes,
Or you want to go Jews?
Everything.
Presidential candidates, I don't know. I love Yang's, what I was going to say about Yang before we got into cutting off baby dicks.
Yes.
Love his energy, like him as a person a lot. He's real.
Yes.
You know, he's like, most politicians are aliens, and he's not. And
Right.
It's so refreshing. And
yeah, I like him a lot.
I like
he also
him a lot.
said that police officers should have a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I completely agree.
He has a lot. Like, I went to look at the policies on his page. Like, who is this? But
super rational.
He's great. And one
Yeah.
of the things that is so, like, refreshing about him is that I don't know if I've been in a room in the past year with so many former Bernie and former Trump people, which are a lot of his supporters, you know, or like disaffected, disappointed Trump people, and then people that supported Bernie in 2016. And there's just, I don't know, like when you hear him talk, the villain of his stump speech is not Donald Trump, even though he hates Donald Trump. The villain is Amazon and Big Pharma and, you know, automation, like the things that are actually transforming and decimating the country. And I just think it's refreshing. But
he's like a Paul Revere for automation.
Yes.
He's like, hey, this is your fucking jobs are going away.
Yes.
Your jobs are going away.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Liked him. I don't know. And then I also feel like I've gone on this emotional journey with Biden where at first I'm like, I liked him. Then I'm like, ugh, he's old. He's kind of losing it. No way he can win. And now I feel like I've gone back to maybe liking
Let me
Biden.
put you back on track because he's way too old.
I know.
It's not just that he's too old. He's not coherent. He's falling apart.
I
Like,
know.
hasn't he had a stroke or something?
I don't
Does
know
he-
if he's had a stroke. He's had a lot of plastic surgery, that's for sure.
Has he?
Look at his face.
He's like, "Argh,"
Yeah.
trying to look younger.
And the caps, and I don't know. But
he
here's
has, like,
it doesn't
blood
matter.
pressure
Do I
issues,
think it's
right?
I think the candidate, I will be very surprised if the candidate is not Bernie, both because of the fundraising and because of where he is in the polls, and because, and this is the most fundamental thing, the energy in the country right now is a populist energy. And I just don't think that a moderate, like the ones that I like a Klobuchar or a Biden, can capture the energy of the base. I think that energy is just really with Bernie.
You have
What
more
do you
faith in
think?
the Democratic Party than I do. I think they're going to fuck up and put Elizabeth Warren in. And I think
Oh my God. Well,
Trump's going to chew her up.
Don't you think Trump would? Okay, but if it's Bernie versus Trump,
Yes.
who wins? Because I think Trump still wins.
I think you're always going to have a hard time when someone's the incumbent, right? You're always going to have a hard time when someone is the sitting president who is extremely controversial, extremely polarizing, but also we're in a great time economically. That's hard for people to deviate from. It's hard for people to deviate from good economy. When you look at the stock market, when you look at
But most people don't have stocks. Like
No, it's
most
true,
people are like working
it's perception, though. It's a perception. You look at unemployment.
Yeah.
Unemployment rates are very low. You know, there's a lot of things that you could point to, the standard issues that you point to, and then you deal with all this looniness on the left that Trump is the complete opposite of. He's the antithesis.
He's the middle
of,
finger to
yes,
all of it.
Exactly. Yeah. When he got in office, I said political correctness just got hit with a missile to the dick. And that's what it was like when that guy got in office. Like, what the fuck? He just after all that grab the pussy stuff and all the craziness. The fact that he was able to weather that storm and it didn't even seem to shake him. He would get on
like
TV.
you said, he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue. Kind of
Yes.
think he actually could.
Yeah, well, as long as the person was a dick, as long as the person he shot was a real asshole, do we really need that guy? No, well, we need Trump as president. It's going to be hard. It's always hard to get someone out of office. I mean, what sunk George H.W. Bush was Ross Perot, and a lot of people forget that. Ross Perot, this eccentric billionaire, got on television and bought an entire half hour of regular primetime television and put on this display of why you're getting fucked and explain taxes to you and explain...
So is Mike Bloomberg going to be the Ross Perot of 2020?
No, he's not as charismatic, and he's not very well liked, and he doesn't make sense. I don't think he's wasting his time.
I just think he's the opposite of what people want right
Yeah,
now.
they don't want a billionaire. No, they don't want that.
They do not.
What Bernie stands for is a guy who, well, look, you could dig up dirt on every single human being that's ever existed if you catch them in their worst moment and you magnify those moments and you cut out everything else and you only display those worst moments. That said, you can't find very many with Bernie. He's been insanely consistent his entire life. He's basically been saying the same thing, been for the same thing his whole life. And that, in and of itself, is a very powerful structure to operate from.
Yeah, and he's addressing the thing that people are most obsessed with right now, which is economic inequality, and he's really consistent on it.
Did you see him here? Did you see him?
Yeah, of course I did.
He was so normal.
He's normal.
He's so normal.
Did you find him winning, though? Like, did you like him?
I liked him a lot.
Because I feel like there's a huge division in people I know. Either they love him or they really, really think that he's, like, gruff, obnoxious, all of that.
Well, I know you don't like Tulsi, but I love her. I love her. I love her. I think she's awesome. I love her. I love Bernie, and I love Andrew Yang. And I talked about Tulsi and Bernie the other day, but I forgot to bring up Andrew Yang, and I apologize for that. I said everybody else can eat shit. I didn't mean Andrew Yang. I do like him. It was just a mistake.
What is the Tulsi appeal for you?
Well, I think she, first of all, is someone who's served twice overseas, been deployed twice, and understands the actual cost of war. Worked in, medical units, saw people murdered and shot down and destroyed by war. And she wants none of it. And she wants us to have less interventionist foreign policy decisions that affect people's lives and send our young brothers and sisters over there to get killed. That's one thing. She's a person who served in Congress. She understands how it works. She's a very nice, friendly person. I believe her. When I talk to her, she's very genuine. And if you want a woman president, that's what you want. You want a young woman who has served in Congress, who has served overseas, who's been deployed. She makes a lot of sense with a lot of things she's saying. That's what I like about her.
Got it.
Okay.
Klobuchar?
Zero opinion on her.
Okay. Yeah, I like her. Zero charisma, though.
Yeah. I haven't been paying attention. There's only so much time you have in a day and only so many days in your life. Yeah. And until things start really popping where I have to pay attention to her, I'm just like, she ain't got a shot.
But who are you going to vote for in the primary?
I think I'll probably vote for Bernie.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I think Bernie and Tulsi together would be a fucking devastating combination. I really do. I don't know if they'd ever work out together. I don't know if that's possible. But I think them together might work. That might work. That might get enough people to go, you know what? This is all just too fucking crazy. Let's try something different.
And what do you make of the people that are speculating that Tulsi's going to run as a third party or all that?
She's not going to.
Okay.
I don't think she's going to. I don't think she has any plans to do that. But that was the worry that, she's a Russian asset. That was one of the things that Hillary Clinton had said. That I found that very strange. And Hillary Clinton was calling her a Russian asset.
You found it strange that Hillary Clinton said that?
I do, but I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton. I'm not a fan of that whole. They're a part of a different world, right? They're a part of a different world where corruption was open and accepted, and it was a part of the program. If you pay attention to the Clinton Foundation, if you pay attention to the amount of money that they would get paid to speak to bankers and the fact that they wouldn't release the transcripts. That was the great thing about Bernie during the 2016 election. Release the transcripts. Let's see those transcripts. He was
when
like,
I watch him, I'm like looking at Larry David.
Yes.
Like it's so strange. Like I only see Larry David.
Larry David does a fucking amazing job as him.
But it's like the meld. It's very weird.
Yes.
Like I was watching the weekly episode of when the Times endorsed the candidates or the two women, and it was like it was very strange. I was like thinking that I'm literally looking at Larry David.
But him as a human being, when I was hanging out with him, and I believe in him. I like him. I like him a lot. I know that
the most scandalous thing about him, the Daily Mail just was like, Bernie Sanders, he requests his junior suites in his hotels to be 65 degrees, and he asks his staff to collect honey packets. Like, this is like for his tea. Like, cool. Like,
that's hilarious. That's all they got on him. Yeah, it's
no. I mean, the thing to get him on is like his apologetics for Soviet Union, for Nicaragua. I mean, is foreign policy stuff. It's just a disaster, and that's what that is what Trump will crush him on. I mean, Trump wants Bernie to be the candidate.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't think he wants Warren?
I mean, Warren would be great too, because then he has Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But like,